and face the sun. Won't hide my tail or turn and run. It's time to
If you guys invite me over more, I'll be there. You know I will.
All right. Well, Brandon was here many times last season, right? So, you gotta make an appearance.
I would love to make an appearance, and I should actually call Brandon now and get on him for not inviting me to come with him to the studio.
That's true.
That's what I should do. But I'll wait to camp and I'll get on him about that in camp. But yeah, if you guys would love to have me, man, I would love to be there and come on, be a part of the show live.
508 on TSN 690. Welcome back to Game Points. We're here till 7 o'clock tonight. Back on Tuesday night as well. That was the voice of a guest we had here a couple of weeks ago on the program, S.J. Green, a teammate of our current guest. He is a member, of course, of the Montreal Alouettes. You can follow him on twitter.com/culturedathlete. It is Brandon London. Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
Man, I love the way you do my intro speeches, Matt. Appreciate that, man. I'm doing great.
Now, I didn't mention Brandon London TV, though.
No, you don't have to mention that yet. That's gonna get going once the season gets going. Have a whole bunch of prizes, different things for the fans to check out some videos. We got Ocho Cinco on the team now, so I have to bring the camera out now. So Brandon London TV has been put on pause for the last next couple of weeks. I'm like that LeBron James commercial. No more. I'm just gonna do an app. No more tweeting and stuff. Just app.
Now, your thoughts on S.J. Green saying he's gonna get with you to try and get back on this program?
Well, it's funny because I just got off the phone with him earlier because he was talking about driving up from Florida, picking me up from Virginia, and driving up to Montreal. So I've already told him I got some things in line with him for Brandon London TV. But anytime we can get a playmaker like S.J. Green in the studio, I'm all for it.
Brandon, how has the offseason been for you so far? I mean, given the fact that last year was not the best year for the Alouettes, what motivation do you have? What motivation does the receiving corps have to prove that you guys are still the best team and best core group in the CFL?
Well, off season, I feel as though it's the only time you can put an I in the word team. Only time you can spell team with an I in it is off season because that's the time that I make myself better to help the team. So, I mean, obviously after a disappointing season as a team, I came back motivated, but just personally, just the things that, I put on tape and, the things, drop balls and things that are very uncharacteristic of me and my skill set, I obviously took that to heart. And as soon as I got back to New York City, a couple of days after the season ended, I got to work right away, and it's a thing where last year, a lot of people didn't know that, coming off that knee injury in 2012, I didn't start running until, about 5 to 6 weeks before camp. And not using that as an excuse or anything, but, going into camp last year, I wasn't mentally ready. I wasn't ready to go in and really, attack corners and really go after it because I was so worried about my knee. Was my knee fine? Is this all right? That aching pain, is it because of the knee? Is it just because of fatigue? So there's a lot of things playing in my, in my head, in my mental last year. And then as I slowly started to come around and, stop thinking about the knee, then, the concussion thing happened when I got knocked out against Saskatchewan. So, that, and then the end of my season was a roller coaster ride because anytime you have a concussion, man, like, that's not just something you can just hop up out of bed and say, I'm ready to go. It's a series of tests, and, Rodney Sassy, our team trainer, he'd sit me down, talk to me. Some mornings I wake up with a, slight headache, but I think that, for me, I try to gut it out, and, it was just a situation last year where it was just all messed up, personally and as a team. And I've never been one to use an excuse or say anything as an excuse, so I just used all the naysayings last year. People talking about how I'm a bag. People asking me if I still have it, if I still love football, if, the Brandon London TV stuff was getting in the way of my football. I just used all that as motivation this year because I'm going to go up there and do the same things I've been doing, working my butt off, doing my, my own camera stuff. And as long as I'm producing and making plays like I know I can, I'm just going to tell everybody to shut up, sit back, and enjoy the ride, man. That's true.
All right, now let's forget about all of the last year stuff. We're looking forward now, which is really cool. I obviously people are talking about that picture you tweeted the other day with a guy named Terrell Owens, who looked, by the way, in pretty good shape. How did that come about, and what was that like training with him?
Well, I've been down here in L.A. We have a one-on-one group. It's composed of a bunch of NFL guys, some CFL guys. I know Jeff Tisdale, teammate Jeff Tisdale comes out, and Jason Barnes for the Argos, he comes out. We do one-on-ones every Tuesday and Friday, but it got bumped to Thursday. So every Tuesday, Friday, we do one-on-ones. We do run routes. We do all that stuff with a guy, former Minnesota Viking, Matthew Hatcher. And he's put together a group of a bunch of guys who come in, and, we just go out there and compete. So, and I've been doing that for quite some time now, and, went into minicamp, looked good because of it, and we've been, continuously doing it. But this past Thursday, T.O. was out there, and that's a guy who's been my favorite receiver, of all time. I love Jerry Rice, but T.O. is, in my eyes, the number one receiver. And he was out there, he was running routes, he was doing one-on-ones. Him and Jeff Tisdale went at it a bunch of times, and he went at it with some of the on the corners there. And I mean, he looked good. It's T.O. Once his stride opens up and he gets to running, like, that guy's fast, man. He has excessive speed for such a big guy. He's explosive, and he did some cool things out there. I thought the coolest part was we have some younger guys out there we got guys who just got signed by the University of Illinois. Got some kids that, free agents looking to get in the league, looking to get into Canada. He'd pull guys to the side and, tell them, you got to get your depth. If it says 12 yards, get your depth at 12 yards. He was doing things like that. And the biggest thing was, he pulled me to the side after the workout and just told me that, I look really good out there, and, keep doing what I'm doing, because I met him last year at teammate Kai Bear's event in Louisiana, and I got to, talk to him and stuff. So, I told him about, my last year's, disappointment. He was just telling me, last year, put all that stuff behind you and just keep working the way I've been working. And I thought that was good for a guy like that, to, pull people to the side and talk to them and encourage them, because, you're Terrell Owens, you really don't have to do that. But, he was overall a great guy, and, he looked good out there.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I mean, what is a guy like that working that hard for at this point? Is it just the love of the game? Is it an Ocho Cinco type of deal where he'd like to get back into it? I mean, what motivates a guy like that at this point in his career and his life?
Well, after the day ended, me and Jeff Tisdale, we put him inside and we were talking to him, and we were telling him how Ocho Cinco is on the team now, and we were just telling him about Canada and the CFL, and he had a couple questions. It didn't sound like he didn't initiate the questions about Canada or anything. It was more me and Tisdale poking around and, just seeing what he was out there for. And, we were just telling him how he can go up there, the way he looks right now, he could go up there and he can compete to play and start. And I was just telling him, we were saying, you're not going to get paid what, T.O. is used to getting paid and all that, but it's a chance for him, if he still loves the game, to go up there and have fun with football, because the CFL awards opportunities for guys to basically be stars up there, man. You just see guys like Weston Dressler and Andy Fantuz having Fantuz slates on the Wheaties box. It's a chance for guys to go up there and play football, play at a high level of football, and just get love from the game. So we were just telling him about the different things. We, told him a couple of people he could contact if, he was serious about going up there. And I guess now it's pretty much all up to him. But in my eyes, I think he looked good out there. He was running routes well, and he was catching the ball. So it's T.O.
Yeah, you think about an organization like Ottawa trying to start their franchise and looking for some buzz and all that kind of stuff. So interesting aspect to it. But let's get back to Brandon London. So Brandon London, Montreal Alouettes, joining us here on Game Points with Matthew Ross. Obviously, you have some time before camp opens up, but your thoughts early on this coaching staff from what you've seen and the vibe that they're creating.
Oh, man, it was something to where, and this is, I'm never going to go and bash, Coach Hawkins or any of the guys from last year. Like we said earlier in this media thing, that last year was last year. But I just feel as though the way that Coach Higgins came in, and it was something about him to where it's like he didn't even have to say his accolades. He didn't have to say where he's been. It's just the way he carried himself. Something that it just demanded respect. It was something to where it was like, you're going to respect this guy because he seems like a straight shooter. Not somebody who's going to give you a quote from a book or anything like that. Just somebody who's going to tell you how to do something because he's been through some stuff. He's been through coaching in the CFL and being a head coach. So, and the first thing I said to him was the thing that he said at his press conference when he got hired. How he said that we're going to be exciting and we're going to be I forgot it. It was exciting and something. And I said, Coach, I'm going to hold you to that because I'm going to work my butt off for you. But Lord knows I'm going to be very exciting this year. So don't get mad at me if it's a little touchdown celebration and stuff like that. But Coach Higgins, man, he did a great job of just, he hopped on offensive guys for John and defensive guys. He hopped at defensive guys for John and offensive guys. He wasn't really biased in terms of, what side of the field that he was going to spend the most time with. Offensive coordinators came in, and he set the tone early, really, with just the playbook and some of the plays that we're going to be running. We looked real good out there. Obviously, Coach Thorpe has done a great job with the defense, and Coach Noah Thorpe is one of my favorite coaches in Canada. Just by the way he is, on the sidelines and stuff. So, man, I tell you the truth, Matthew, and I tell you the truth, Mo. It was just something where we left camp because I sat on the bus with Troy Smith on the way to the airport, and we just had a long talk. And he wasn't in mini camp last year, but just listening to everybody who was in mini camp last year, and then the guys this year. Everyone knew that we're bound for something special this year, and hopefully, we keep ourselves injury free. We keep any and all distractions out of the locker room, and we just go back to playing Alouette football. But I thought hiring Coach Higgins was a great hire, and man, I can't wait to look forward to what camp brings and what the season brings.
All right, final question for you. You mentioned Ocho Cinco, obviously part of that receiving core right now, at least. That's the plan. You got to tell me, these end zone celebrations have to be taken up a notch, right? He played with the Pats his last real extensive period in the NFL. He's got to be dying to have some fun again.
Oh, man, I was telling him in camp, in mini camp, I was telling him that this is the CFL. They don't really throw excessive celebration flags, as they do in the NFL, aka No Fun League down there. So this is a place where he can river dance, he can backflip, he can do whatever he wants, just as long as I'm involved somehow, some way. Because when he tweets it out to one of his 3.5 million Twitter followers, I better be on the @ mention or something in there. But yeah, I told him, man, we're gonna have fun this year, man. That's one thing that I really want to go back to, just having fun. Coach Trestman really didn't bother me too much about some of my on the field antics. There was one game where we were losing like 28 points. I scored a touchdown, and Hamilton went and sat down in the lawn chair. Coach Trestman really didn't bother me too much about that stuff because he knew that I was going to work hard, that I was going to, I'm a team guy, and I'm going to put in the work. So hopefully, it's the same situation this year. We could just go back to having fun, man. Just look at the receiving core that we have lined up right now with Deron Carter, S.J. Green, myself, Ocho, Jay Rich coming back, David Clowney, Bobo. There's just names and names of people that you can list. So not only is the competition going to be great, but when you're making plays and you're in a competitive group, such as the group that we have, you want to rejoice, man. You want to have fun. And everybody, we're all down for each other. So we're going to make sure that those celebrations are, turned up a notch. And like Coach said, man, we're going to be exciting. It's going to be very, very exciting.
Well, we're running over here on this segment, Brandon. We got to go, but Mo wanted to just quickly throw something out.
Brandon, third place isn't too bad in the English Premiership for your Chelsea, huh?
We came in third, which isn't bad, and we're still in the Champions League for next year. But I just felt, I don't know too much about soccer. I can comment on too much, but that loss to Fulham a couple weeks ago really hurt us, and I don't know, man. Fernando Torres needs to go. They need to bring in a striker, other than Demba Ba and Eto, because we could use some help up there. I just looked at the amount of goals scored this year, and it was down. We're scoring the same amount of points as Sunderland and those teams. So, soccer's supposed to be exciting, and watching those 0-0 draws and 1-1 draws Chelsea matches were kind of boring to me this year. But I mean, those boys, they got to do what they got to do. This is the way I got to do what I got to do on the football field.
He is Brandon Lund. You can follow him on twitter.com/culturedathlete, and we look forward to having you in town, my friend.
Yeah, man, sorry last year about, being MIA all those times, coming in studio and not being in studio, but I can assure you guys this year, get your cameras ready because it's going to be a great time this year.
Well, we'll find out. I'm still trying to get Mo to suit up for training camp for a day.
We'll be loaded at that position.
Man. Come on out, man. We'll put you at the Y, wide receiver. We'll let you waggle a little bit, see what that waggle motion is like, and see what those hands are like.
I'll just add more arsenal to that deep receiving core.
That's what's up, man.
All right, Brandon, thanks so much. Appreciate your time.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Run your route like this,